Welcome back. Awkwafina went from rapper to actor when she took on comedic roles in blockbuster films like Ocean's 8 and Crazy Rich Asians. But for her next big role, she's taking a more dramatic turn in the critically acclaimed movie The Farewell. It's about a family coping with news that their beloved grandmother has only weeks to live and the decision not to tell grandma herself.
I don't understand. She doesn't have a lot of time left. She should know, right?
There's nothing they can do. So everyone decided it's better not to tell her.
Why is that better?
Chinese people have saying, when people get cancer, they die.
It's not the cancer that kills them. It's the fear.
Awkwafina, good morning.
Good morning.
In a lot of ways, this is a very heavy topic, although the way it's treated certainly has a lot of humor and a lot of heart.
Yeah.
I was not aware of this tradition in Chinese culture that sometimes if an elderly member of the family is facing a diagnosis like cancer, nobody tells?
Nobody tells. That actually, per the doctor's instructions a lot of the time. I didn't know about it either.
Yeah.
So when I read the script, I was like, what? You know, and but I think it really took going over there to like understand where that reasoning comes from. So I can say that like after filming the movie, like I'm not in the dark about it. Like I understand it. Yeah.
And I guess the notion is that a lot of people feel like, well, the minute you hear that word and you hear those news, that's when you really start to feel sick.
Yeah. It's the founding of the saying, what you don't know won't kill you. Yeah.
Well, this role seems to be made for you in so many ways because there is the young girl who is got Chinese culture, obviously that's her background, but also is raised American and so is kind of navigating these two worlds.
Yeah.
And it centers around a grandma, beloved grandma, and of course you're very close to your grandma.
Yes, I'm very, very close to my grandma. And I think that everyone kind of is familiar with that love, and so we knew that this was a very specific story. It centers around a very specific kind of family and culture, but everyone knows what it's like to experience loss. Everyone knows what it's like to have a grandma and love their grandma. Yeah.
You had to brush up on your Mandarin, as I understand it.
Yes.
So you weren't starting completely from scratch, but you had a lot to learn.
I had a lot to learn. I pretty much heard Chinese yelled around me as a kid. I never spoke it. But yeah, I learned it, and I'm not the most secure about it. But
well, what does your grandma say?
She was like, yeah, well, it's not that bad, which is a very good compliment.
I was going to say, that's high praise.
It is a high praise, yes.
Speaking of, your father wrote the cutest text message that you posted about this movie.
He did.
And he said, hi, the movie is still on my mind. You did a great job. And Lucy says the same thing. I'm so proud of you. Imagine seeing a movie with people laughing and crying, and it's my daughter up there. That must have meant so much to you.
It did. Because I was like, Dad, you text? So that was fun.
But also, your dad has been like on the whole journey of Awkwafina.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say what it is, but the rap video that brought you to stardom, your dad was not sure that this is for the proper role of his little girl.
He was not sure, and it wasn't until it went viral that he like became my tour manager. And I'm like, Dad, I don't need you. You know, you're sending me. I'm taking 3 different flights to go from New York to Philadelphia. It's like, forget it. But yeah, he's very supportive now.
Did you have any trepidation about taking on such a dramatic role? Because it isn't a comedy role.
Yeah.
It's like you had to kind of take off all that funny, crazy Awkwafina persona that we all know and love.
Take off the wig, I did. I think, I knew that I connected with the material. That's the one thing that I knew. I knew that I connected with the journey that Billy makes from America to China. I knew that I connected with the grandma aspect of it, and I felt her pain. I could feel that, but I didn't know if I could really. I didn't know, actor-wise, if that would come across. But it really took going to China, understanding the weight of the material, and knowing that that's how real it felt, you know?
Well, you do it. You pull it off. You're such a superstar. I remember that we met when you were doing press
I was
for
so
Ocean's
nervous
8.
to meet you.
I was nervous too. I was sitting there and I was so impressed with you because we were with all of the stars of Ocean's 8, which Sandra Bullock, Rihanna, they're all there. And Awkwafina, you held your own. That was your first big breakout role.
Oh, thank you.
And there you were, like you were just owning the place. I was so impressed by you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
But now are you kind of used to it? Now you're like, I'm kind of a big deal.
No, I'm not. No, I'm like, even now, I'm just like, I'm a huge Savannah Guthrie fan. So it's like very, very happy to be here.
Well, honey, I feel the same about you. I'm so happy for you. And this
Thank
is
you.
just, when people see how you can stretch, like they think they know you, they think they know what you can do, and they're just getting started.
Good. I hope so.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Savannah.
Appreciate it. The movie's called The Farewell. It's in select theaters now. It's going to go wide on August 2nd. And we're going to have Awkwafina a little bit later in the 4th hour with me and Jenna.
I'll be there. I'll be back.
Okay, good.